The Lighthouse. The Lighthouse is a drama horror film directed by Robert Eggers and co-written by Robert Eggers and Max Eggers. The movie is about two lighthouse keepers who try to maintain their sanity whilst living on a remote and mysterious New England island in the 1890s. The film's leads are Robert Pattinson as Thomas Howard and William Dafoe as Thomas Wake. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we all know with the Eggers brothers, they, to this film, previously to The Lighthouse, they made a film called The Witch. I have not seen The Witch, but I've also heard very, been similar situation with the internet, as in explained videos, video essays as to what does it all mean and what does the ending mean. And they are pretty much the dons, will you say, at creating high concept films. So what did I think of The Lighthouse in general? I think this of the film. The opening was some of the most ominous, transcendent filmmaking I've seen in a very, very long time, to the point where it's eerie. There's something with Lighthouse that it makes you feel uncomfortable, but you don't know exactly what it is that's making you feel that way. And it's all kind of done with just these very elaborate insert shots and just still shots of things. Another film that was similarly done in the sense of the cinematography was a film that I watched maybe a quarter of near the end, but I need to come back to watching it. And that film was actually called First Reformed, and it was about a priest played by Ethan Hawke, and he went mad basically in that film. A priest that turned into a terrorist. It's a very crazy plot line. But yeah, the shots reminded me in the sense of what that film looked like. Very still, very staccato, and it's almost like as if when things feel too silent, it's unbearable. It's that kind of weird kind of cinematography. And I also say this as well. If there's anyone that's watching this video currently, I'll say this to you. If you are an aspiring cinematographer, please, please, please watch this film. For that alone, and the shots and the camera movement, you're doing yourself, I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart, because I want the best for you and my subscribers, go watch it for that aspect. At least if you're obviously pioneering and doing your cinematography, there'll be so much that you can take away from it. In terms of what this film narratively speaks, in terms of the story and the way it's written, the Eggers brothers, I don't think they really like to play to the book. There's elements of three-dimensional characters, and that's what obviously, there's that element, and there's obviously the character development, but I couldn't really sit here and tell you if there is a substantial or standout character arc. A character arc is a thing to incite change, but the way that it's done in this film, it's done in a more kind of ominous and dark feeling, But I guess that is what these filmmakers, that's what is their kind of, their staple on their brand, I think, And I think whenever you go to watch, obviously, an Eggers film, you're getting that dark, dystopian, period dystopian kind of film that, plays on folklore and mythos. And their films are such a tearaway to anything that's currently out, and you got to commend them for creating such unique stories and just unique craft altogether. I think Robert Pattinson, I think he was great. Now, I don't want to go too much into a rant about, is Robert Pattinson a good actor or not? And obviously the people that have jumped onto the bandwagon are people that have not really seen him anything else. I kind of just know him from Twilight. You know, I've seen him in Good Time. I've seen him in The King. I've seen him in The Lighthouse. And the guy can act. He's very good. Now, William Dafoe, I mean, was he snubbed of an Oscar? I couldn't argue with anyone that suggests that. I really couldn't, because there's a monologue in this film that takes your breath away, you know, and he done an amazing job. Obviously, it's unfortunate he didn't get picked, but look, there's so many actors that have not been picked for an Oscar, and we look at their performances and we go, you know, they're brilliant, you know, they deserve practically, I don't know, quote to say, everything underneath the sun because of their performance. You know, and just because an actor doesn't have an award or so, it's not going to change your movie-going experience watching them. You're still going to enjoy it as much as whatever award that they're going to win. So, yeah, it was good. Now, this is going to lead me to my next point. The ending to this film, I still don't know to this day what it really meant. And you got to understand, from my perspective, I've only seen the film once, right? And in process of creating this video, I was thinking about doing maybe an ending explained, or what did it all mean? And I think to myself, because when I initially walked out the film, I was confused. I was. But based on what everyone else has been saying about the film, when I've looked at some other points that they've made, it's made me like the film a little bit more. But when I initially walked out, me and my friends were like, what the actual fuck did we just watch? You know, I can't deny that. That's how we felt. You know, that's not to say that the film is bad. It's nowhere near bad. But, you know, sometimes when you do a high concept film, you want like the film to be high concept, in that, you know, the person that is leading you into the dark room is eventually going to say, okay, now you got to look a little bit over here, look a little bit over there, and then you can join the pieces together. Like, in certain moments, the film doesn't feel like that. Sometimes the film is purposely throwing you in the deep end, and you're just in the dark. You got no clue whatsoever, really, what's kind of going on. But with all that being said, I get the gist. I had thoughts on what I thought about the film and its ending. I mean, I can say what I think of what the film is, and this wouldn't be spoiling it for anyone, but to a certain extent, I believe that the film is about purgatory, meaning hell. Now, to what extent you can take that, I don't know. See, now, you'd probably, if you're going to watch the film, you're going to go, no, it doesn't mean that, it means this, you know. So many other explanations as to what this film could be about. Yeah. And did I mention that the foghorn in the film, the foghorn in the beginning, it was such a great suspense and tension building the first 3 to 5 minutes. And I think that the way they choreographed that and the way they set pieced it was really good. Again, with all this very kind of staccato, still imaging, you know. And at certain moments in the film, I mean, the whole film is all, every single acting, if you're an actor as well, there's every single Meisner technique, Stanislavski, method acting, everything you could possibly get from a performance you get with this film, and that actors blow it out the park. So yeah, so to conclude this review, I'll be giving The Lighthouse, depending on how you look at it, if you're gonna have a good perspective on it, it is an 8 out of 10 film. Now, if you're gonna be like, oh my, it's gonna be around, it might not be the film for you. It might be around, you might be lingering around a 7 or 6. But for me, looking at the bigger picture obviously compensating, there was a cast and a crew that worked on this, and they created something that just looks such a 180 to anything else I've kind of seen through film for a long time. I have to commend them, and I have to give the film the score that I've given, which is a very very solid 8 out of 10, you know. So guys, if you haven't seen Lighthouse, I suggest that you do check it out. Also, put in the comment section if anyone has watched The Witch, and would you suggest the film to me? Yeah, like, comment and subscribe. Click here if you want to see more, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.